Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we are taking a look at the newest hero in Overwatch, Hero 45. That of course is the new DPS hero, Vendetta. There she is, look at her. Oh boy, am I excited for this one. I have been wanting a melee DPS hero for a very long time. You can see all of her abilities here if you just want to look at them, just as we're kind of talking here for a second. But I'm very excited about Vendetta. I'm very excited to have a new hero that is a melee DPS hero. I did, of course, want a tank. I was hoping we get another tank, but I play so much DPS at this point that I'm very happy. And she looks fun as hell. So let's get into it. Let's take a look at her abilities first. And then, of course, as always, we're going to jump in and take a look at her in some gameplay, and I'll give you my thoughts on her after getting the chance to play her in game for a little bit. So, shall we?
I am the Empire.
She's the Empire. Oh my god. So, here we go. Here she is in all of her glory. She's a pineapple. That's really funny that it like automatically had a... Anyway. Yeah, I don't know how that happened. So, as a melee hero, her main offensive option is going to be this big sword you see in front of her. This is her Palatine Fang. It's her primary weapon. As it says here, it is a hard-light greatsword that you combo swings with to end with a destructive overhead slash. That looks like such. The other thing, of course, you notice this little meter thing in the middle of her UI. That is her passive ability, Onslaught. You can see it right there. She strikes enemies to increase movement and attack speed. So as you attack enemies, you get more ability to attack speed and lets you kind of just be more of a threat to people. The more killing and damage you're able to do. So she's a hero that really does kind of get pumping and going the more you play as her. Her other main ability is her warding stance. It is her block ability. It's her right click. You can see, as it says here, you block with your sword, reducing frontal damage and deflecting melee attacks. Blocking damage depletes energy. So there it is. You can see the energy bar there on the side. Obviously, I'm not blocking damage at the moment, but let's go take a couple shots so you can see how the block works.
Face me.
You can see as she gets shot, there, the bar begins to deplete. Also, while she is in her block, she has her projected edge, which is an attack she can do while blocking. So we're going to move over to the side for a second, just so I can let that charge back up, because using that will use some of the charge there. But as you can see here, projected edge, available while warding stance is active, consumes energy to fire a wide projectile. So we're blocking, left click, there it goes. So you can use that. Charge it, throw it, uses some of the charge, and that's you go. And as you can see, it does also build her Onslaught when you do that. So it gives her some sustainability, kind of the same way that this block does. And helps her be a little bit more sustainable when you don't have movement abilities, which we'll get to here. Now, so she has two different ways she can kind of move. The big one, the one that's going to give you most of your movement, is her ability Soaring Slice. You hurl your sword in the direction you are facing and then fly to it. So you can use it upwards, you can use it a lot of different ways, but here you go. Press E, and you will do that. If you want to follow up with the attack on it, you gotta press left click, otherwise you'll just kind of fall like that. So if you want to follow up the attack, make sure you are using left click to do that. So that is that ability. It doesn't attach to things, I don't believe. I don't think it's going to attach to walls. No, it will attach to walls, actually. It's not going to attach to enemies, if my testing was correct. Oh my gosh, my texting was so wrong. Yeah, you can use it to damage people, you can use it to kind of jump on targets if you want to do that. And it's just a means for her to be able to do a little more movement, get places she wouldn't otherwise be able to get, which is very, very nice. Her final ability is, well, her ultimate ability is Whirlwind Dash, where she rushes forward into a circular slash. So we'll see that here. And you deal some damage when... So now her final ability is, of course, her ultimate, which is Sundering Blade. As the text here says, you can see, cleave through most defenses, dealing severe damage to enemies in front of you. So, we'll attack, we'll kill this guy first. Once, not with a shield at the moment. So you can see he's got his shield there. So we're going to press Q. It's going to charge up automatically. You can see kind of its range. And we just killed him, just like that. You also may have noticed, I hope, that you saw, there is a little charge bar in the middle. Once it charges fully, you can just left click and go to charge all the way. I don't know if it does any more damage once it gets past that. I think once it gets to its max level, I don't know if there's any additional damage it does. But you can see against a target like this, it's going to do enough damage to kill anyway. But for the sake of testing, because of course that's what we're here for, let's see. Will just getting it all the way to max be enough to kill? Yes. There you go. So those are her abilities. But of course, she also has her current set of perks. So let's take a look at those. So we can select our first ones here. You can see there's Siphoning Strike and Relentless. With Siphoning Strike, her overhead strikes gain 30% lifesteal. And then Relentless, her onslaught can stack 3 more times, increasing attack speed by 5% and movement speed by 4% per stack. I think you can understand how the lifesteal works. So let's show off Relentless here just so you can see how that looks. So as we swing, watch the onslaught there in the middle. Before it was tapped at 5, now tapped at 6, and look at that movement speed. Look at it go! Isn't that crazy? Look at how fast I am able to go. Look at how fun that is. Boy, oh boy, I love this. The next set of perks, we have Swift Vengeance, where the last player to land a killing blow on you becomes a target. Eliminate the target to gain 125 over health and reset cooldowns. And Raging Storm, where her Whirlwind Dash continues to spin, hitting 3 more times for 40 damage in a wide area. So we'll show that one off because it's the easiest one to see visually. You can see she spends more time spinning, which is interesting. I think those are an interesting set of perks. I definitely think Siphoning Strike has a place in her kit. It'll be interesting to kind of see what people do with that one. I think Relentless, to me, seems like the one that people are going to take earlier just because it lets her become so much more powerful really, really quickly. She moves so much faster. She hits so much faster that she just becomes such a threat. Swift Vengeance is really interesting. It's one that I don't know how often we'll see it just because it's only useful after you have died. But at that point in the game, you're going to have obviously died. I don't know if it immediately gives you one when you take it for whoever eliminated or landed the last killing blow. But it's interesting to see it happen. The Raging Storm, I think, is good. You can cancel it, obviously, so you don't have to be stuck in the whole length. But I think if you have something like, if you have a lot of movement speed and a lot of attack speed, I think that will just give you so much ability to just really put a bunch of damage in on enemies that I could see being a really, really good one. So I think she's got an interesting set of perks here, an interesting kit here. So I'm going to go dive into some games. I'm going to go give her a play, mess around a little bit with with Vendetta, and then I will give you my thoughts here in a moment. So why don't we cut to that right now? All right, so I have gotten a couple of games in as Vendetta. Only 2, because the queue times are very, very long. So let's talk a bit now about how I feel about her as a hero. Overall, I feel really, really good about her. I like her kit a lot. I like the way she plays. She feels very fluid. Her abilities work well together. That's something that I obviously am very, very, very concerned about at times with heroes, mainly because you go back to Lifeweaver at launch. If anyone remembers Lifeweaver when he first came out, his kit felt really bad. It was so janky and so many buttons, and you had to do this, and I think you had back then. I think you had to change between the heal and the shoot, and now it's just left click, right click. It was a whole thing, and it was a really poorly designed button layout and optimized in that way that didn't really work. She doesn't have that problem. I actually think her kit feels really good. The abilities work well together. I think it's going to be interesting to develop her more, as the game is out and around. Seeing how people use her. She definitely is like fully rush character. You're not going to play as her in a dive composition, most likely. You're watching a gameplay where I had a Junker Queen on my team. I did play a game before this one with Zarya on my team. I really like her with Zarya. She's the kind of hero, like, if there's a grav, you can just punish people like crazy in a grav. You get so much value, killing the people in a grav. She's good with bubble, stuff like that. So she's a good hero in that way, and I think that's kind of the place she excels. Obviously, like, speed boost is really good for her, especially once you have gotten your, you've built up your meter. I can't remember the name of it. Once you've built that up, you just do so much damage, and you're able to move so quickly with her onslaught. That's what it's called. And that makes her really, really good. So I really like that part about her kit. I think she feels good to play. She feels very fun. To me, the thing that I need to really see more is the value she's able to get with her block and how good it feels. It's similar to like a Doomfist block where, it is effective from the front, but it does nothing from behind. So, if someone sneaks up behind you, they can just totally destroy you. And you just straight up die. It's not that, it's not something that's, it's not going to tank you in the same way that like a Doomfist punch would, right? Like, you will die. It's not going to let you live forever. It's going to let you survive longer than you would otherwise. But you got to hope you got good supports who are going to keep you alive, which I did in this game. My Juno was great, and my Lifeweaver was great. They were great with me. They helped me a lot, even though I fed a lot in this game. That's really kind of where I feel about that. Her ultimate, you just saw me use an ultimate. It was really, really terrible. Super high risk, high reward. I think very rarely are you ever going to use it fully charged. You're most of the time going to just kind of like a Risa. Like, you don't usually use a Risa ult fully charged unless you're trying to like buy space. The damage that you get from it is good. Obviously, you're probably going to use it as like a way to insta kill one person. That's really, I think, the best way to use it. I had, I think, 2 of them canceled throughout my session. It's just that kind of ultimate. I don't think it is a bad ultimate necessarily. I just think it's one of those ones that, like, if you can get value with it, it's really good. But she's not a hero where her value is going to be decided by how good you are with her ultimate. Her value is going to be decided by how good you are with able to actually kill, with the sword. How good you are at actually chasing kills, following up on kills, using your abilities to do it. And I'll say this. You see me use my E to engage a lot. Where she throws the sword to move it. The soaring slice. I actually, the more I did it, I realized just how awful that is. And you should literally never do that. Like here, the Wu Yang bailed me out so much. You gotta save it for your escape. Don't attack with it. Don't engage with it. Use it to get back to point, stuff like that. But just when you go in with your shift. Do not go in with your E. You will die. You will die very quickly without an escape plan, and that's all there is to it. But she's great. And I think what I really wanted most out of a DPS melee hero is just a hero that felt good, that felt fluid, that felt like they could actually like find value in a game where you're going up against Widows and Ashes and Cassidys and Freyas who can pick at you from range and do a lot of damage to you without ever having to get in your face. And, how does a character running around with a sword manage that? I think the answer is pretty well. I think she feels good. I don't think she feels like someone who's going to really, like, just never find value against ranged heroes. She has enough mobility. She has the block. She has enough things that can kind of play in her favor. And she does have her long-range attack, which you can use to, like, help just get a little bit of chip damage, maybe finish off a target that you need to finish off. So I really do think she is a very fun hero. I am absolutely excited to play more of her. She feels like the exact kind of hero I want in this game. So I feel very victorious in that front because, this is really what I do think is great about Overwatch, is that they'll go this route of heroes that maybe are a little bit different from other shooter games, where you're a woman with a sword and you run at people and you slash your sword and you block and you try not to die when you do so, and it's really fun and really cool. And I really like what they did with her. I think her visual effects are really, really cool, which is also really fun. And it looks unique, and I'm very, very happy with this newest hero. So let me know your thoughts on her in the comments down below if you've gotten a chance to play as her. I know those queue times are crazy, but if you have gotten a chance, I'd love to hear from you about what you think about her. And, of course, let me know where you think she's going to be meta-wise. Do you think she's going to be any good? Do you think she's going to be kind of middling? There's a lot of things to kind of consider, but I definitely would love to hear from you on your thoughts on Vendetta and where you think she'll land. Because I do think she has a place potentially to be really, really good, but I think she's got a little bit of stuff she's got to kind of get sorted out. But that's going to be all for this one. If you enjoyed this video, want more like it in the future, consider liking and subscribing, as your support is always greatly appreciated. I hope you're all staying safe and staying healthy. And until next time, bye-bye.